who founded Kerwood in 1943 in a stately Motor City mansion at 301 East Kirby, not far from where I would later found the Ziggy Johnson School of the Theater in a modest concrete box. Comforting me, extending my last trip around the sun, always near, are the brown and tender, well-trained hands, fluttering or poking, of nurses and doctors, able and ready to battle death. My life began in a Southside Chicago shotgun apartment owned by an Ofe. Now, it's pleasant to anticipate dying in a mansion owned by a black man and being in the care of doctors trained at Meharry and Howard. Not every memory is pleasant. Like the plans that John Woolley and I had to buy the Rum Boogie and make it a club of the highest caliber. This last effort, to return to my school triumphantly restored to health, fizzled. But before I fizzled, I burned bright. For the past 20 years, I have worn 3 hats, each of them dapper, and all in Detroit. Writer, emcee, and dean. Hat 1. Following in the wake of the great Sepian entertainment columnists in our papers, Sylvester Russell, Dave Payton, and the inimitable Salem Tut Whitney, I write a weekly entertainment and gossip column for Detroit's colored paper, the Michigan Chronicle. I was in the inaugural issue of Duke magazine, the black, better than Esquire men's publication. If you count the variations of my Detroit columns published in the Chicago Defender and the Pittsburgh Courier, I have published over 1,000 articles, and still counting. Now, I am posting from this hospital room. If Jesus loves me, and if Ethel Waters prays hard, my last column will be published after I die, but before I am buried. Hat 2. I emcee at the swankiest club in town. For a long time it was The Flame, but now I'm presenting Berry Gordy's top talent in the Driftwood Lounge, the almost private club hidden inside the very public 20 grand. You may say, hold up. You can't be a patient in Kerwood and the master of ceremonies at the Driftwood Lounge. I say, I pick the acts, I write the intros, I scold whoever is too drunk to go on stage or too drunk to get off, even if Baby Doll must drag the miscreant to my sickbed for the scolding. I, following in the footsteps of Eddie Pleak, am the MC. Hat 3. I preside as the unofficial dean of the Ziggy Johnson School of the Theater, where I teach the breadwinner's children. That word explains Detroit to me. Breadwinner. The partying factory people were those whom I first noticed when I arrived in the late 30s. Large numbers of black men who earned a good, steady wage doing a skilled job, then returned to the homes they owned, ready to refuel and to dress to the nines, to head out to hear fabulous music and drink good liquor. I was the breadwinner's MC of choice and producer of choice, and proud to be so. Songs, lines of dialogue, beats of choreography that Ofe and mixed audiences loudly applauded in Chicago, Los Angeles, or New York clubs were often met with silence in Detroit show bars. For 20 years, I created my best work playing to a Sepian Detroit audience of breadwinners and their entourages. It wasn't just black factory folk in the audience, but on most nights, in most places, most people in the audience were there because of the factory folk. Black doctors, lawyers, ministers, businessmen, gamblers, dry cleaners, hairdressers, barbers, restaurateurs, teachers, policemen, firemen, bus drivers, gas station attendants, car salesmen, newspaper columnists, grocery store owners, funeral parlor directors. We all lived off the wages of factory folk. Back in the day, because of the breadwinners, Detroit could support all black hospitals and all black private schools, and even exclusive all-black beach resorts. The factory folk, the breadwinners, drove the black city. Black Detroit knew this. We gave the factory folk who worked in the automobile plants their proper respect. We loved those men who did that shift work that meant 8 out of 10 black families in Detroit owned the home they lived in and could afford to go out to a club to hear live music any night they chose. Our breadwinners